I mean, what's happening at Twitter? Is it exploding? Is it going to survive? Is Elon Musk intentionally trying to kill it so that he can take the tax write-off? I'm not sure. I want to.
That's an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory
at this point, because it seems like he's intentionally trying to kill the platform. So I want to pull up a series of tweets from Zoe Schiffer, who is the managing editor at Platformer. She clearly has an ear on the inside, and she's sort of live tweeting this meeting that is happening with Elon Musk at Twitter headquarters. So let's put that up, Colin. All right, so Elon Musk is doing an all hands with Twitter employees. They got a 1 hour notice, and he showed up 15 minutes late.
That's good leadership.
That's good.
That's fantastic leadership. Actually, you know what that really is too, and I didn't mean to interrupt here, but just like to throw this in, that is dictionary definition narcissist. You just, because it's like everything is on your freaking time. Everyone is a character in your play. So you're just like, I need to have a meeting right now. They're like, are you freaking serious? Yeah, I'm serious. And then you show up late. That is
okay. Well, then wait till you hear what he said
narcissist.
Next. Wait till you hear what he said next. After he followed up with this. Elon Musk just told Twitter staff, if you can physically make it to an office and you don't show up, resignation accepted.
Oh my God.
So that sort of checks what you just said. So here's the interesting part. Wow, Elon Musk just told Twitter employees he's not sure how much run rate the company has, and bankruptcy isn't out of the question. So, run rate, that's how much money, cash that they have left to burn through to keep operations going.
Yeah, usually the Wall Street term is runway, but Elon Musk is just so cool. He said run rate, I guess. But yeah, what that is it refers to how much cash flow they have before they just run out.
Right. So, and then the last in the series is now he's talking about making Twitter a peer-to-peer payments platform. I don't know what that would look like, but it sounds horrific. It sounds like something I would not want to.
Well, my guess is that's just a more glitzy way of saying I want people to pay for it.
Well, yeah, clearly he wants people to pay for something. He overpaid for the platform, and now he's trying to make up the cash for it. But he's doing all the wrong things, right? Like somebody should do the opposite of what he's doing. It's just amazing. So, we've seen this week where he has basically angered all of the advertisers, so they paused their ads. He had absolutely no regard for their brand safety, which should be at the top of his list if he wants to grow his advertiser base. Then he decided he was going to have a paid verification system that is off to a booming start, by the way. We're going to look at some of that in a second, too, which is basically ridiculous in the sense that a verification system is supposed to just authenticate that somebody is real, that they're genuine, that you can trust who this person is. It's not supposed to be about prestige. And he's sort of trying to say, I'm going to make it about prestige. And at the same time, while he's doing that, he's basically opening it up to so many people that it no longer has prestige. It's sort of like saying, here, can you see my fake Gucci handbag?
Well, and in the latest development, and we're gonna dive into the specifics here, so we'll show people what we're talking about. He's trying to have his cake and eat it too. He's trying to hold on to the valid, verifications, but then he's also trying to be like, but you can also pay for it and you get more. And it's just a freaking train wreck, and we're going to dive in and show you why.
Before we get into the booming train wreck that is Twitter Blue, I want to put up a second thread from Alex Heath. This is interesting. So he has an article in The Verge. A Twitter lawyer sent an alarming message to colleagues this morning, saying that Elon Musk is willing to take on a huge amount of risk in relation to this company and its users, and is at the risk of putting the company in violation of its FTC consent decree. So that's a wild thing to do, right? I want to scroll down to this tweet that has a letter in it. This was sent to all Twitter staff this morning by the legal leader on its privacy team. It's pretty remarkable. So I want to read this. This is some crazy stuff. Over the last 2 weeks, Elon has shown that he cares only about recouping the losses he's incurring as a result of failing to get out of his binding obligation to buy Twitter.
Can I translate that sentence real quick?
Yes.
Elon is the dog who caught the car, and he did all of this out of his own ego, and now he lost some cash and he's pissed off. Continue,
right.
Tina.
All right. He chose to enter into that agreement. All of us are being put through this as a result of the choices he made.
All right, translation. He has no freaking clue how to run this thing. Continue, Tina.
Elon has
we got to do live Cliff Notes.
No, it's good.
All
Elon
right.
has shown that his only priority with Twitter users is how to monetize them. I do not believe he cares about the human rights activists, the dissidents, our users in unmonetizable regions, and all the other users who have made Twitter the global town square you have all spent so long building and that we love.
Translation: Elon Musk is just a capitalist, and all of you edgelords who thought he was some free speech warrior, surprise, he isn't. Maybe you should learn what free speech actually is too, by the way. Continue, Tina.
All right. I have heard Alex Spiro, current head of legal, say that Elon is willing to take on a huge amount of risk in relation to this company and its users. Because Elon puts rockets into space, he's not afraid of the FTC. That is a direct quote. Because Elon puts rockets into space, he's not afraid of the FTC.
That's right. Well, they can't chase him into space. The FTC doesn't have a rocket. He knows this. So he'll be like, I can't show up for court if I'm in space. Only Jeff Bezos can catch me, and he's not interested.
He's definitely not interested. All right. I have heard another leader in the legal department say that because of the tight SLAs of 2 weeks between the product inception launch, legal will have to shift the burden to engineers to self-certify compliance with FTC requirements and other laws. This will place a huge amount of personal, professional, and legal risk onto engineers. I anticipate that all of you will be pressured by management into pushing out changes that will likely lead to major incidents.
Translation: Elon is blatantly breaking the law, but he doesn't care because he's a billionaire and he thinks he's above the law. And the only way he'll have any consequences is if the FTC grows a spine, which has not been located since the 80s. Tina, continue.
Right. All of this is extremely dangerous for our users. Also, given that the FTC can and will fine Twitter billions of dollars pursuant to the FTC consent decree, extremely detrimental to Twitter's longevity as a platform. Again, we're back to the longevity as a platform, right?
Translation: he might be running this thing into the ground, y'all. Continue, Tina.
Our users deserve so much better than this. If you feel uncomfortable about anything you're being asked to do, you can call Twitter's ethics hotline at 1-800-275-4843 or submit a report at ethicshelplinetwitter.com. Please do note the FTC's, and then it's cut off, but you get the point. So this was sent out to Twitter staff this morning by the legal leader on his privacy team. So now half of these people have resigned, is my understanding. There's also...
I would. What would you do if you got that? Would you be like, I got a great gig. This is stable. I mean, the tech world, everybody thinks like the tech world is the most stable thing ever because they only hear about the success stories. They hear about the engineers at Facebook or Amazon or something like that. What a lot of people don't realize is for every Facebook, for every Twitter, for every Amazon, there are so many startups that just go belly up in a couple years because they're just like, here's your runway. Are you going to overtake this like $1 billion success story? No. Well, you're done, because they don't give a hoot about anyone's livelihood. They just want to make as much money as possible. So they don't realize that for like just regular programmers and stuff like that, if they think they're part of a bust operation, they jump ship real quick. You freaking got to.
Right. So, Colin, further down in his Alex Heath thread, he quote tweets somebody that was an ex-in-house attorney there at Twitter. I want to sort of highlight some of the things that he said. As the story shows, the world's richest man does not experience human concerns per some Twitter handles. The exceedingly rich were no longer even remotely human. Consequences like taxes are for the little people. So he's sort of trying to get at the point that billionaires don't necessarily behave in a way where they think consequences will affect them, which is, I think, true.
Yeah, that's putting it gently.
Let's put it gently. Then he goes on to say normal companies have security and privacy controls and care about legal compliance. But this is not normal. That's what has people worried. The chief twit's track record shows that, but that's illegal isn't usually a persuasive argument. So to here. In 2011, Twitter agreed to a 20-year FTC consent order over its data security practices. In May, FTC fined Twitter $150 million for violating the 2011 order and issued a modified order. If Twitter so much as sneezes, it has to do a privacy review beforehand. There are periodic double outside edits, and the FTC can monitor with compliance. Per the order, a small team of senior execs is now on the hook for making privacy and security decisions, which are legally binding on the company. And a senior officer has to certify compliance with the order annually to the FTC. This everyone must self-certify thing is nonsense. Dollars to donuts, that small team mandated by the FTC order equals all of the people that just quit. So,
oh man,
Ron, who's running the shop at Twitter right now? As we speak, it sounds to me like there's massive security issues where anybody's data is up for grabs to whoever. And then you're going to couple this with the... Go ahead, sorry. I was saying we're going to couple this with the fake... I would say couple this with the fake Twitter blue verification process system, and it's just like...
Well, wait, we're getting there next. Hold the line on that one. That's next. But our data has always been vulnerable. It's not like that's anything new. But now it's like you just have this, random guy in charge who has no clue what's going on. Who, by the way, and we called him out for it here at Status Coup. He said before he owned Twitter that we should all have encryption protection on our DMs. He thought that was a good idea.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's definitely gone the opposite direction.
Now all of a sudden it's not a priority anymore. All of a sudden, now that he's the guy with access, it's not a priority anymore. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it
literally sounds like there's no security protocols or being monitored right now. So I would imagine
it's gotten even worse.
Yeah, I would imagine that makes the system incredibly vulnerable. All right. So they've now given Twitter verified blue badges to accounts that have been suspended.
Oh, geez.
Which is just insane to me. And this one also you can see where you can see it says this account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue. So Gays Against Groomers, which is the big anti-trans account, they bought a badge, and so did their friends at wait for it, Libs of TikTok.
What did Libs of TikTok do again? I like forget their story.
They steal video of off of TikTok, right? So they've been nailed for copyright infringement. Various forms of harassment speech, whatever you want to call that. I don't know if it's directly being considered hate speech, but they were suspended for saying hateful things against trans folks. So they're very anti-trans, very anti-gay, homophobic stuff. So they had multiple violations before they were terminated, and they're back, and now they're verified. Because of course they are.
Because they paid for it. Well, and here's the other thing too. He's still prioritizing if you pay for the verification. Right. So if you're verified because you're actually just verified, it doesn't matter. You're just verified and people can see that. That's how he's having his cake and eating it too, or trying to. If you pay for it, you're still prioritizing mentions. You're still, basically everyone else is going to get buried in the algorithm. So it's just gonna be all this fake stuff dominating the platform, which is going to be humorous. But of course, it's sort of just erases what Twitter is supposed to be as far as being a valuable tool. So if it doesn't change, this is the beginning of the end. If it doesn't change, I'm not convinced it's not going to change. I think it probably still will. But if it doesn't, this is eventually just going to be a freaking parody website. And once the joke gets old, which it will, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, people are going to be done with it. This is only interesting for a few days.